Hi, Anastasia and Galaxy. Galaxy I am Queen here. She is on YouTube at that hashtag handle whatever. Find her at Galaxy I am Queen. Yeah. The lady who has only 3 paws. She just wanted to say hey, and I wanted to say welcome to the Sacred Spheres on YouTube and welcome to When Gorgons Graffiti on Instagram. That's where the art shenanigans are going down, which also trickles into the Sacred Spheres, which includes sacred play, which is where the art happens. It's okay to play. And it's very sacred indeed. And it's one of the spheres that is very sacred that we engage with here on this channel. So, like and subscribe if you like these shenanigans. And When Gorgons Graffiti, speaking of Gorgons and Medusa, who was the mortal of the 3 sisters, 2 of whom were immortal. She was the mortal Gorgon. She was Medusa. Medusa had the snake hair, as you probably remember from that mythology class you bombed at college, or maybe from, junior high school. I don't know. But yeah, this hair of mine is madness. I took it out of the little bun, and this is sometimes what happens. It's out of control. So this is why sometimes I don't have it down, because and why it's sticking out of the sides of my head if it isn't a bun, because it's completely bananas. So, or snakes. Awesome. Hey, like and subscribe if you like these shenanigans and this business and this whatever is happening here. Like today, I feel really led to unveil this painting that's down here, and it has some frog tape I used. This is actually, I think, the first canvas painting I ever did. It's called The Big Bang, I think, because it reminds me of like something birthing into being. There's kind of like a little flower of a sort on the side, and I wanted to paint on the sides of it, on the back of it, clean it up, make it look a little more pro, or whatever. I don't know if anyone wants to buy this. It's in my permanent collection for now. Anyway, no, it's I am getting a website together and putting stuff up there, but I want things to look good and ready for sale. Yeah. So anyway, here is this little piece. Yeah, all right. Anyway, so yeah, we have painted, see, on the sides here and on the back there. I know that people don't often paint on the back of their canvases, but when you paint on the sides, or even when you're painting the front, right, stuff gets all over the place, and that's fine. But there's just something deeply satisfying about this, about painting this. It's very meditative, very meditative. You have to be really careful not to paint the wood. If you paint a little bit of the wood, it's okay. It's on the back anyway. You're not really, quote unquote, supposed to do it. But fuck that, right? Do whatever the hell you want to do. I feel like doing this, and I had to tape it to get it to all, kind of work out. I am curious, though, if you're listening right now and you have any feedback, do you do this? Do you know of other painters who paint on the back? Do you know painters who secretly put paintings on the back of their paintings, and that maybe they want you to display it like this and not like that? I am curious. I'm all ears. Let me know. The weirder, the better. I'm so intrigued. So, together, today, let's get rid of that. I want to see how much I put black paint on the actual painting, because I wasn't as careful when I laid down this tape, I have to admit. And I might have to add a little something. I don't know. I mean, I kind of have wanted to paint over a lot of my earlier works, but it's been very much encouraged to me to keep my earlier works as they are. That's something famously Van Gogh did. Countless painters have done that when they didn't have the money to buy more canvases or whatever they were painting on, whatever surface. But quite famously, Van Gogh, there's how many painters have there been in history? The famous, unfamous, the kid next door. Too many. Many people paint over their paintings, especially when they don't have supplies. But Van Gogh, had he lived longer, it is rumored that he most likely would have painted over the Starry Night painting that is in speaking of college, every dorm room in, definitely in America, but yeah, so how about that? Because it was not, I guess, very well received, as it were. And it wasn't quite to his liking, and he probably would have changed it. And I can't remember where this is coming from, what documentary I was watching, or Julian Schnabel movie. Shout out to Julian Schnabel, one of the only people who can adapt stories and historical metaphorically real people, and books, even better than the original book. Okay, I have lost my mind, and I hope you love this channel for whatever might unfold. Who the fuck knows? I don't. That's the whole point of this whole channel, is just go with the flow, go with your intuition, choose your highest excitement. I feel really excited to open this up today, and let's do this. All right, are you ready? I'm ready. I don't know how ASMR this is going to be. Not like any of the other ones were. Not like anyone cared. If anyone cares and actually wants to let me know if it is ASMR or not, I don't know. I think, did I have caffeine today? What is going on? All right, anyway, the journey begins. Okay, let's see what happens here. Da-na-na-na. It's like a striptease. I should be okay. So far, not so bad. Not so bad. Again, the whole point of this, we know that FrogTape works. Okay, if you've been following me anywhere in the world, wherever I post these videos, or if you talk to me on some basis, you will know that FrogTape really does work. It doesn't bleed through, or if it does, it's very, very minimal. You can't even see what I'm doing, and I love that. Any videographers want to join my team? Cool. Actually, I am damn proud of myself on the bottom. It certainly kind of bled through a little bit, but this painting is, it's messy. It's supposed to, it's just playful. It's my first painting technically on a canvas. Anyway, hi, let's continue. All right, it got really messy at another, I think this is I think that's where it got really weird. Who knows where it got really weird? Let's see how much I messed up. Again, I'm really excited. You've already seen a FrogTape video, but you never know. It's kind of like, it's a reaction video, right? Like, what's going to happen? I felt like something might happen. Maybe it's just my hair is what's happened, this snake hair, and some type of comedy bit about it. What the hell? Buy FrogTape. Don't ever buy that blue Caca bullshit tape. Fun fact, how about this? This is what the video is maybe about. Side story. I was once a nanny in Paris, and this mom, my name's Anastasia. It's not a Disney movie. It is a Fox movie. Okay. They actually put out Anastasia, which is the bastardization or the Americanization of my name and the name of the woman in the film, the girl in the film, voiced by Meg Ryan for any 90s kids out there. Anastasia, in Russian it's Anastasia, and Anastasia is a pretty damn close. It's actually a Greek name, okay? It means resurrection. It's used in theology to describe the Anastasis, or the resurrection of Christ. And there's even a mercy ship called that. It's a very famous name, obviously, because it got transported to Russia through the Orthodox Church, right? The Greek Orthodox Church. It ended up becoming a very, sort of holy name. And as we know, all those rulers and kings and queens were all endowed by God with the right to rule and to have power over the peasants and the rest of us, the other people. And so Nicholas II, as some may remember, had a bunch of kids, and one of them, the youngest daughter, was named Anastasia. And when they were all assassinated by the Bolsheviks during the revolution, after they were sort of imprisoned and starved, and it's a horrible story, but they thought that she had escaped the assassination because of a lot of different reasons. In point of fact, she didn't. Sorry, spoiler alert. But there was a woman, many women who claimed to be her, but there was this one woman in particular who, the story goes, she was in a coma, and she comes out of the coma and she looks at some newspaper heading, and she's like, "Это mia brat." Sorry, that was bad Russian. Mia sestra, my brat. Like, there's my sister. That's my brother. That's mommy. That's daddy. And so on. And she's pointing to the Romanovs, to the Tsar and Tsarina, and they're saying, what are you talking about? And she was completely convinced that she was Anastasia. She's like, because they asked her, "Как тебя зовут? What's your name?" "Oh, меня зовут Anastasia." "Oh, I'm Anastasia. I'm the daughter who escaped the Bolshevik revolution and assassination, and here I am." Anyway, yeah, so that's a little history of my name. But interestingly, because of that story, that woman, I think, got caught up in the courts and was part of like kind of like tabloid news for a long time, so long that because the Bolshevik Revolution, that's beginning of the 20th century, but it got dragged out, this story, when this woman kind of came out of this coma, whenever that was, in the 50s. I have no idea when, but almost every girl is named Anastasia as a result. Also, maybe a harking back to a bygone era that people yearn for and pine for, like, oh, we wish we had what we had back in the 19th century and so on. I don't know. We're complex people, the Russians. I'm obviously far more American than I'm Russian. That's born here. But yeah, so that name definitely captured a whole generation, multiple generations, really. And when I went to Russia, I went once, and it was kind of like 50% of the girls were named Anastasia, or some version of that, meaning Nastya, Anya, Nyushka, Nastinka, Nastya. I already said Nastya, Natasha. You get the point. So we love nicknames, we Russian folks. And yeah, so yeah, my name is Anastasia, and that's a side story for the other side story, because that movie that came out based on that whole story of the Romanov and this family getting assassinated, blah blah blah, and maybe Anastasia escaped, and lots of beautiful songs like Once Upon a December. I think I'll link that in the description or the comments below, because that's a really fun song, and there's a beautiful instrumental version of it on Spotify found during a winter Yuletide solstice playlist extravaganza evening I was having just as a party for myself. And yeah, if you're following this story, it goes that when I was interviewed to become a nanny for this girl and her younger sister, and incidentally the 3 cousins next door, I didn't know that at the time, the 6-year-old was mesmerized by Anastasia and Anastasia and that movie. And anyway, so I got the job. She didn't, though, really want someone who spoke English, right? Normally you get a nanny from a foreign country because she speaks a language that she could speak, or he could speak to the children, right? And they can learn that language to be bilingual, trilingual, whatever lingual. And this girl wanted to speak Spanish, which I don't speak. I did study Latin. I do know French and write Romance languages, and I more or less understand Spanish, but yeah, I don't speak Spanish. My native tongue is English. And anyway, so the one thing that I really did teach her, the word caca exists. This is where it all comes back. See, it all comes full circle here. The word caca exists in French, but the word poo-poo doesn't. And as profanity, I would say caca poo-poo, just to be silly and fun. And the girl was mesmerized, not just by my name, but by that saying. And so that was what she learned with me, from me, and with me. Yeah, we were learning as we went. So yeah, how about that for my time in Paris, in France, and as nanny and raising these kids for a bit. And I left them with Cockapoo, which I just shared with you. Aren't we learning more, right? Hashtag PSA, the more we learn. Rainbow. Any 80s kids out here, you remember that? Did that persist into the 90s? Can we create a community? Let's, we can have meetings where we talk about this fun stuff on here, listen, swap stories, or you can just listen to my shenanigans. I've used that word too many times in this video. Anyway, this is exciting. I think this is where the problematic part was. Oh my God. I'm impressed. Okay, wow. So this is an even higher endorsement of FrogTape, because apparently even when you barely press it down and really kind of put it on the painting, it definitely, yeah, if you don't really firmly press it on, there is definitely some bleeding. But this is, again, kind of like a messy, fun canvas. And I didn't want to be so hardcore and exacting. Like, come on. Oh, for a moment I thought I took off part of the painting. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, verdict. I highly recommend doing this. It's so satiating. But then again, some of you are probably representational artists and are very exacting and perfectionistic, which I am, and that's why I don't do representational art. It's not perfectionistic art. Although I am trying to, I would really like to move in a direction of doing more portraits that are slightly abstracted. I don't know. I'm gonna start playing around with that. But anyway, yeah. So for people who maybe already did something super finely tuned, I highly doubt you want to spend the time doing this. But for those of us who are like, blah, 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 and it doesn't take us like 100 hours, like one of my friends who does a small, this is 10 by 10. Yeah. Maybe 12 by 12. It's not very big. So, yeah, so maybe you don't want to do that. But for those of us who do, like I said, do the quicker execution of whatever the vision is moving through. Yeah. I highly recommend. It's very satiating. And yeah, I mean, I already talked about this in another video. These cheaper canvases from Michaels, I don't buy them anymore unless people gift them to me. There's a beveling here. So when you're painting, it's really hard to paint like right there. So I try to make this a nice straight, you know, I didn't know exactly where to put the tape down because I could tell that I would be missing some of this. I could technically go in and paint this. I don't know. Part of me, again, wants to, and I highly recommend you do this. You know, like if you have a sketchbook, you put down the date you drew whatever, painted something, did something. So you can kind of go back and see your evolution. And if things really pick up, people really are buying the hell out of your stuff, then that's collectible. That might even become far more valuable to see, you know, where you began. And who knows, you could turn into, cut them up and use them as part of your like thank you basket, you know, the swag you give when someone buys something from you. Lots of ideas on this channel. So many goodies I have for you. Infinite amount of goodies coming through. So yeah, what have we learned today, folks, boys and girls? It's okay, yeah, for this to be a little messy, but yeah, this is Big Bang. See, we got a pew, the phallus of creation coming through, ejaculating its bits and bobs, and there's this like little kind of flower with like a leaf. It's multicolored, kind of coming up there, and this movement, like I don't know, rainbows, galaxies are being formed. Particles of probably toxic dust, which would have killed most life, and there wasn't really much life yet, but it was coming into being. That's the kind of the vibe for this painting. I work 1000% intuitively. I literally sit here and just kind of almost close my eyes. I just say, okay, what color? And I hear red, crimson, no, red with scarlet, or yeah. I just listen. I take dictation, I move accordingly, but I'm learning. I feel like I'm like whoever these guides are, you can say I'm channeling, they offer me art lessons. I've never painted before. I listen, they're like, oh, merge this with that. Really, all of us have access to all of time and space at all times. We just need to be quiet and listen, and some call it the Akashic records. There's all information accessible there, and plenty of folks from other realms or dimensions who want to help us. Of course, that can be a dangerous space to be in. It can be a little maybe nefarious and harmful. So it's really important, if you don't know what in the world I just said and what I'm talking about, do not attempt to do that. Even myself, not knowing what was happening, you can feel almost under attack. You know, in Christian sort of terms, you know, you're sort of inviting in almost like you could say demons, or in Greek, ancient Greek, the daimon, right? A spirit. And it can almost possess you. So, and I say that with all seriousness. I'll be talking a lot about that on this channel. It happens. It really does happen. And you want to be really careful. If you have any questions, you can send me a message, email me. All my info's down below. I'm happy to talk to you about any of this. I do work in deep imagination, and obviously with creativity and art and so on, many modalities, and I'm happy to talk one-on-one. One as sort of a, you know, just to give you some info about some of what I've been through, but more so, yeah, if you want to do some journeying in a very, very safe way, yeah, let me know. I can hook you up with that. We can find what works for you. I think moving forward will be largely donation based. So it will be a minimum donation suggested, but there's a sliding scale. You do what fits your budget. And once you work with me, you're going to see that this shit's real. It's amazing. It's transcendent. I don't know. Like this painting? Is this transcendent? I've officially lost my mind. I hope you have too with me. Because it's good to get out of the mind. Enjoy yourself. Have a beautiful day. Like, subscribe, ring all the bells. Do what you want. You are loved. You are love. I love you. I'll see you soon.